And rolling into our final topic of the day, this marathon of a day as we record the fast break into Superfans. 7 fucking segments for you guys.
It ain't like doing a fast break into a Superfans into a mock draft.
Yeah, which mock
Not
draft
even
coming
a full mock
next
draft,
to
a top 10 mock draft.
Mock draft coming to y'all next week. I know you guys love to keep up on those. But yeah, Bears. We just wrapped up our preview of Bears Cowboys. Bears. We got 4 games left this season.
Bears.
How should we feel about these 4 games? Sean, you kind of let a couple feelings sneak through at the end of that last one, but I want you to reiterate them for those who are just joining us for this segment.
Yeah, it's pretty much that we saw Mitch Trubisky play well against the Lions last game, and my biggest concern is Ryan Pace has said, let's see what we got in Mitch in the last 6 games. And I think they're going to take every positive that they possibly can to get him back as the quarterback, not only next year, because he is under contract next year, so he's going to be back next year, but also picking up his 5th option. And that 5th option is going to be worth around $22 million. That is going to be a mistake if they pick it up, and I think that Lions game is going to be a positive that they look at and say, there he is. That's our guy. That's our Drew Brees right there that we think that he can turn into. So I'm worried that the Bears are going to fall in love with Mitch Trubisky. And my biggest worry is that he plays well, but not well enough to get us into the playoffs, but well enough for them to pick up his 5th-year option. And that would be, I think, the biggest mistake that the Bears can make. And if it is one, it's one that, is going to get Ryan Pace fired. If he makes that mistake of picking up Mitch Trubisky's 5th option, then he would get canned. I think obviously after Mitch plays,
because we're going to spin our wheels next year.
But yeah, I think if Mitch fails next year, I think then Ryan Pace gets fired and seals his fate. He's tying himself to this QB, and I hope he knows that.
Yeah, and I mean, look, there were a lot of reasons for us to be positive about Mitch Trubisky coming into this year. The way he had played out through the end of last year as a very smart quarterback, not turning the ball over too much, but also not exposing himself very much with the throws he was making. So we're like, all right, we're going to get, Mitch Trubisky unleashed this year, the full Matt Nagy offense, and it's just been a disappointment for 80% of the year. So with these 4 games left, it really is his time to shine. And, we said coming off of a great game against a terrible team and a backup quarterback, which is great for us, but I've got that uneasy feeling in my stomach where I'm just like, do I really want us to win out and go for the playoffs? Because you're right. That means the era of Mitch Trubisky continues on. But on the other hand, I've got that feeling of like, all right, say we don't. Say we miss the playoffs. Even if we win, if we go 2-2 in these final 4 against it's Cowboys, Packers,
Cowboys, Packers, Chiefs,
Vikings, which there's a chance we go 1-3 in there.
Yeah,
and people wouldn't blink twice.
Even if the Bears win out, there's no guarantee that you make the playoffs.
Right, we need some help.
So you need help, and that's dangerous even with the schedule that you do have. So there's no guarantee that even if you win out that you can make it in the playoffs, and I mean that's the biggest concern for the Bears right now. Because I mean even if I just mapped that out, you need the Vikings to win or to lose one more. So you're either going to be a Packer fan.
Well, you need us to lose more than just one more.
Well,
like one more than us?
No, because if the Packers beat you on week 16, and you guys go undefeated, then we jump in.
I mean, we're 8-3 right now. You're 6-6.
Yeah, so if we beat you on week 17 and you lose week 16, then it would be 10.
So yeah, okay. One more on top of our game.
So you're assuming we're losing the last 2 in that case.
That's what I said. You need help. So even if we win out, you need the Vikings to win one more.
To really lose 2 in their next.
Yeah.
5.
Yep. Yeah, but
2 on top of the Bears.
Beat the Vikings.
Yeah,
and then they need to lose one more.
2 extra more.
Oh, he's saying Bears win out.
2 losses. The Bears need to beat the Vikings on week 17 to get to the playoffs.
Yes.
You don't need 2 extra ones. You just need 1 extra one.
Yeah.
Because then you're both 10.
We're saying the Bears are winning out, and then the Vikings need to lose 1 more game.
I'm not doing the math ain't right because you're giving me 2 losses and we're 3 losses ahead of you.
No, you're not.
Yeah, we are. We're 8-3. We haven't played yet this week.
Okay, but if you win that, you're gonna be
8. We'll be 9-3.
Yeah,
we'll be 3 losses. We need 2 losses on top of the Bears.
You guys are.
So if the Packers, you're saying if the Packers and Bears both beat the Vikings, then you need 1 more.
Yeah, it just flipped. Yeah, you need 1 more.
So
I'm stupid.
And the thing with
we need
the
a
Vikings,
choke job.
Well, the Seahawks
thing with the
beat them
Vikings
this week.
I will throw it in there.
Yeah.
First off, I am not confident this week.
Yep.
We're going Monday night into Seattle. We always get fucked in Seattle. So there's a possibility we lose
that sounds
in
like
this
a good
game.
time.
Yeah. Well, last year, I'm sorry for this rant. But last year there was like a stupid ass pass interference call that shouldn't have been called, gave them a touchdown, and it still pisses me off.
Literally
this day.
no one cares.
So we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose that game. So yes, if the Packers and Bears then beat us, you can get over us. But like, look at the Rams. The Rams are also one win ahead of you, and also have a tiebreaker because they beat you already this season. Yeah. However, you look at them. They should be able to beat the Cardinals. Seahawks, Cowboys, and Niners, though, are they going to go 3-0 in those games? I don't know. Cowboys, that'll be in Dallas. Niners have been really good. Seahawks have been really good also. So, I mean, really, you're fighting for that 6th seed. And it's just the big thing is you got to take care of business. You have to win out. But the big decision goes as a Bears fan. I was kind of talking to you, Dave, about this yesterday as we were kind of just chilling playing video games.
Yeah.
What should a Bear fan want? Should you want the playoffs, which means Mitch is probably going to play well, like Sean said. Mm-hmm. Mitch is here for the foreseeable future.
Right.
And could possibly get a contract extension if we go far enough. Or should you hope for the other end that you don't make the playoffs? That means Mitch is out of town. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, yes, you have a second-round pick that it would affect, but you have no first-round pick. You're just helping out the Raiders then at that point. So it's like, really, and I'll ask you guys, since you're the Bears fans, what should you hope for? To tank for higher picks or go for it all? And you know what? If Mitch is here, we made the playoffs.
You play as hard as you can throughout the next 4 games because it doesn't matter with your first-round pick. I mean,
but I'm saying like wins and losses. Are you hoping like? Of course, you don't want to see your team lose. I want
to see what this team can do for 16 games. Like, what is this team's record when we're not tanking or not trying or not like if they're giving 100%? I want to see what they can give 100% for 16 games. Are we an 8-8 team? Are we a 9-7 team? Are we a 10-6 team that makes the playoffs? Are we a 6-10 team? What are we? I want to figure that out because we have teams that are very important on our schedule. What if the Bears beat the Packers and beat the Vikings? That's back-to-back 5-1 seasons in the NFC North.
That's pretty impressive.
That's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think that's something that could be absolutely slept on if the Bears don't make the playoffs. If you go 5-1 in back-to-back seasons, Matt Nagy would be getting a bust made. And now we're talking about him getting fired. I think that's a crazy, drastic difference. It's going to be difficult because you're going to be in Lambeau and in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. But we've had Minnesota's number this whole entire game. It's really just that the Lambeau 2 years, one. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's something that is a possibility, and I don't know. I want to see what this team can do for full 16 games, especially with the last 2 against the Vikings and Packers.
I agree. I think it sets a tone for what we're going to do as a franchise moving forward because we do have contracts that are coming up after this year, and like you said, are we going to lock ourselves into the Mitch Trubisky plan for another year after next year? Are we going to go, grab a veteran because we think we need to win now with this defense in its current state? Mm-hmm. Or are we going to draft, somebody young and say, look, we're going to take our time and do this the long way, and we're going to hope that we continue to add to our defense over time and bring in the right guys, but we're not feeling the burn to get it done all of a sudden because we don't feel like our window is closing. Mm-hmm. I think that's where my question is like, do you feel like this Bears team, hypothetical, just say we go 2-2, we miss the playoffs this year, Mitch looks passable but not great. Do you think this Bears team feels the need to go out and get somebody and re-sign Trevathan and say, we're going to go ahead and grab a free agent quarterback or trade for somebody and run it back and try this with a better quarterback?
There's not a lot of cap space. And that's the thing. So I would say you'd have to prioritize either Trevathan or a quarterback, and I would prioritize quarterback. I'm fine with moving on from Trevathan and keeping Kwiatkowski. So I think that's easy. And then you have to re-sign Eddie Jackson. Prince Amukamara is going to be a free agent. So Trevathan's one I'm fine letting leave because he is older. He's 31. So what, you want to sign a 31-year-old? I think he's 31. He might be even older than that. He's in his 30s at least. You want to sign a guy for a 3-year contract in the NFL with that? It's something that's iffy. I'd rather give Kwiatkowski some time.
I'm just not a fan of Kwiatkowski, but I get it. He's a try-hard. He stops the run well.
Where have you seen him fail?
In pass coverage.
When? This year?
This year? I can't give you an exact game.
Because he hasn't. Because he's been playing well. He had two. He almost had a pick yesterday. or Thursday. I mean, he had a pick against Driscoll as well. I mean, he's been able to play very, passable. And like I said last week, if he is your 11th worst defender out there on a defense, it's
pretty good.
It's a fucking good defense.
I agree.
I mean, so I'm not too worried about Kwiatkowski.
Yep. All right, Ricky, what do you think?
For me, the big thing is, because I do agree with Sean. Like, if I was in the Bears' shoes, of course you want your team to win. Yeah. You want to see what they can do. But the big thing for me is I feel like if this Bears team, let's say they do go 5-1 in the division.
But I said if they go 2-2.
No, but I'm even saying like on the other end of, let's say they do play well.
Sure. Don't answer the question.
I like your
Well, he's just not answering the question. I set up a scenario to get a specific, like, are we going forward and paying for defense? Are we going to go get a free agent quarterback and try to compete now? Or are we drafting and going long game?
If I'm getting a free agent quarterback, I'm trying whatever I can to get Teddy Bridgewater based off of what I saw this year. I feel like Teddy Bridgewater, although he would not be like, I'm not expecting like the Drew Brees, the Russell Wilson, but like he showed this year that, hey, if you put me in successful situations like Sean Payton did, I can go out there and win you games.
Matt Nagy equals Sean Payton?
I can win. No, then that's the question mark of the question we're never going to answer for the rest of this year is who's the bigger problem. But I feel like if I'm going out, I'm spending it on quarterback, and I'm looking for Teddy Bridgewater. But the thing is, I think he's got a club option. So to get Teddy, you'd have to try to trade, and I don't think the Saints are going to trade him because we don't know what Drew Brees' future is.
And I don't know if Teddy wants to even leave. That could factor into it as well.
Who knows if, let's say, the odd thing happens, Jake, cover your ears. If the Saints say, all right, Drew, you can walk, we're going to go with Teddy.
Teddy Two Gloves is going to be a free agent in 2020.
Okay.
Doesn't he have the club option, though?
Nope.
Yeah, right there in red.
It's void.
Oh, they void it, so he will be a free agent.
Oh, shit.
Cool.
So there you go.
So he will be available.
Yep.
That's
2020 and 2021 are voidable years, leaving behind $4 million of dead cap in 2020.
So does that mean they officially voided it then?
I don't know what the deal is.
Football contracts suck because they're very hard to track.
No, it's just the website says void, and I don't know if that means they did void it or that it's
available to be voided. Yeah, I got you. So yeah, no, that's fair. I think the thing for me, I don't rush it. Even though we paid up for Mac, I think we've got an amazing defense. I think that we go draft somebody in the second round.
I think it's the option to be void because I don't think Drew Brees has voided his contract.
Bridgewater's salary cap for 2019 is just $3.25 million right now. He'll be on the books for $2 million in each of next 2 years. So he's on the books for 2020, 2021. So I don't know if he has a deal.
Okay. Same thing with Drew Brees. Drew Brees possibly a free agent too.
So they're both set to expire.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to expire. And Taysom Hill is going to be a restricted free agent.
Yeah. So, I mean, there could be a chance that the Saints go, you know what? Drew, thanks for your time here. You did great, but you're old, and there could be a point where Drew at the end of the year goes, "Fuck it, I'm done, retire."
That's the most likely. They're not going to let him walk though, and they're not going to let Drew Brees not finish out there. Drew Brees is like what Tom Brady is to New England.
Agreed.
Like it's probably even
he's an all-time great.
It's probably even more than that because of what he did for their Super Bowl. I mean, and I know Brady's won 6, right? Yeah, 6. Forget how many he's won.
It's just so hard to count with how many he is.
He's won
all them
6,
fingers.
but I mean,
Drew Brees and the timing, everything that went into that.
So I don't think that Drew Brees is ever going to play a snap in any other jersey besides the Saints jersey.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if he did.
I wouldn't be shocked though if they didn't put money into it and it was just like, hey, Drew, we're going to give you a cheaper contract, come back, play another year, and then we'll give Teddy the money that you're going to get. I don't know what the idea is, but I'd be shocked if both Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Brees were not in Saints jerseys next year. And I think that the Bears are just like we talked about last week. It's going to be second-round picks. That's what you're going to need to go after. I don't think you need a veteran quarterback. Mitch is still on the team.
Yep.
So have Mitch and have a young guy and develop both of them. Like, that's what you should have been doing for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
So I just worry that Mitch will be on the books in 2022 for $22 million. That's my biggest concern. I don't really have a concern that he's on the team next year, but I have concerns about
the year after.
And then I worry about what this defense will look like as well, just because of the free agents that are looming. You will have Mac, you will have Roquan, you will have Eddie Jackson because there's no way they're going to let him walk. I think you'll have Kyle Fuller, but this defense could look very different outside of that because Leonard Floyd might not be brought back. So it's an interesting time for the Bears. I just hope they don't pick up that $22 million option for Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, I sadly I'm with you there, and I fear for the worst case scenario. You know, if we do struggle these last 4 games, do you think that makes it easier on the Bears to move on? Do you think if they just if they go 1-4, or 1-3 or 0-4 in these last 4, do you think that makes it a clear cut front office? All right, ding, ding, ding. Let's make these moves happen.
Especially if he's if he goes back to what Mitch was and not throwing over 300 yards. If Mitch is throwing 5 touchdowns and losing because of the defense,
it's hard to say no.
Maybe not. But if he's throwing 180 yards and for 5.4 yards per completion, I wouldn't be shocked if he was let go after that.
And then you think Pace would fall with him?
No, I think Pace is fine if they don't bring him back. So if he's on the roster the next year, that's fine because he's not under contract. But if he picks up his 2022 deal and he looks like garbage in 2021, then they fire him.
Gotcha.
I think that's going to be the biggest thing is he's tied to the quarterback. So once Mitch is gone, then that's when Ryan Pace will be truly evaluated.
All right. Ricky, any final thoughts about this last outcome of the Bears?
I just think it's going to be an interesting time to be a Bears fan the next 4 because, of course, you want your team to do well, but if you're not a huge Mitch Trubisky fan, you might be rooting for those L's.
Strongly conflicted feelings here. I think that kind of sums it up. You root for the best, but sometimes you hope for the worst.
No one wants their team to lose either, so it's not like I'm actually rooting against the Bears.
No.
I mean, if the Bears win 4 games during
fucking
the playoffs,
celebrate.
I'm
It's
gonna be
great.
fucking pumped.
Yeah, if we go on a heater, whew.
Hey, we're 3-1, baby. 3-1 in the last 4.
Yep.
Everyone said we just need that 1 win.
Yep.
We're going to lose by 50 to the Cowboys.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, so much for joining us today. We've had an awesome time recording. If you want to check us out, make sure to check us out on Twitter, iTunes, what other platforms? Stitcher. Yep. I think that.
TuneIn Radio.
TuneIn Radio.
Did you say Stitcher?
Stitcher. Did you guys check us out on Stitcher?
But
yeah, thanks so much for Sean Anderson, for Ricky Widmer, for Dave Oster. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.